Hello, everybody. This is December 23rd. It's in the middle of the afternoon. This is going to the residents, the loved ones, the family members of all of our three communities for Tuscan Gardens. And it's just a special end of the year message for you for any number of reasons that I'll indicate. Let me just start by saying, man, what a year. What a year this has been. I mean, who would have thought back in early 2020 that we would have had this global pandemic, which not only affected the entire planet, but on top of that, obviously affected us here in our wonderful senior living communities, the sanctuary, which we call Tuscan Gardens, for the residents and the family members whom we love so much. It was an unbelievable year. I mean, the good news, of course, is that we survived it. You survived it. And by and large, with just a handful of situations in our communities, we were able to do well in protecting our residents and protecting our associates and protecting our visitors who were there for our residents. So we really have, at this point, gotten to the other side of it. We're not there yet, by the way, but we have managed to get to the other side of it with minimal incidences, and that's just a wonderful thing for which we just are so grateful with God's blessings. At the same time, we are now in a position where we see the light at the end of the tunnel. As you know, we've got the Pfizer vaccine coming down the pike, and we have Moderna right behind that. And I wanted to use this message to bring you just a little bit of a state of the union, if you will, with respect to where we are on that, and then just leave you with some final thoughts at this particular wonderful time of the year at this season. As to where we are, we have now sent out, I think we sent 3 messages this past week to you to make sure that everybody was up to date as to what was going on. Let me use this message to be able to kind of bring that even more so to your attention. The vaccine, as you know, and specifically at this point, I'm talking about the Pfizer vaccine. The vaccine has been so substantially scientifically developed and baselined, if you will, in terms of its testing, that we now have a very substantial amount of data, which allowed them to collect the data, to analyze the data, to provide for not only its efficacy of some 94-95%, but in addition to that, the safety of those individuals who are taking it. As a result of that, there's FDA approval, which is considered in this country to be the gold standard of regulatory approvals for pharmaceuticals, pretty much in the entire world. In addition to that, it's approved for the UK, it's approved in Canada, it's approved in the entire EU, and it is really spread across the entire world in terms of its ability to be able to vaccinate against this monster, which we call COVID-19. We now are very lucky because at Tuscan Gardens in Florida, we have partnered with both CVS and Walgreens to be able to bring the Pfizer vaccine into our communities. And for that purpose, we have scheduled 3 clinics. We're just simply waiting for final logistics from either CVS or Walgreens, depending upon which community of the 3 it is, as to what the actual dates are. But in each of those cases, there are going to be 3 clinics in each one of the communities, whereby we're going to be giving they're going to be giving the original vaccine, the first one, and then within 3 weeks or 3 weeks later, they'll be coming back to give the second dose because it's a 2-dose vaccine, as I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, know. So that's coming up. We're going to let you know immediately as soon as we get those dates, and we're just simply prepping you for that, not only with our messages last week, but also specifically with respect to this message, so that you're going to be ready to go, so that you can get your loved one vaccinated and protected, from this incredible virus, this incredible, just threat that we have been experiencing this entire year. So with that, I want to make sure that You have communicated completely. If you're a resident, I want to assure you it is safe, it is secure, it is designed to protect you, and we are really truly looking for 100% participation at the community level. And that's just critical for you to really understand that and hear that from me, and get that from me and from Janet and from our staff and from our executive directors and our director of healthcare services for each of the communities. We're looking for 100% participation. And if you're a loved one, if you're a resident, if you're a family member of a resident, I just want to make sure that you're on board in doing everything in your power to encourage 100% participation inside the communities. It's there to protect you, and it's there to make sure your resident and your loved one, and it's there to make sure that nothing is going to transpire which would in any way, because of COVID-19, affect your health or your safety or your security. In terms of the logistics of when it's coming, right now it's going through the state of Florida with respect to the actual skilled nursing communities, and then right after that, we're next up on the rotation. So it should be, fingers crossed, and again with God's blessings, it should be within the next week to 2 weeks, and you'll be getting another message from me at that time, but you'll also be getting all kinds of additional emails and telephone calls. I want to make sure that you recognize we did not get in the state of Florida the amount of doses which had originally been anticipated by the governor. As a result of that, we thought in the very beginning that we'd be able to get a couple passes through the communities before the doses ran out. That's not going to happen. It's one rotation through the senior living communities in the state of Florida, and it may be months before we're going to be able to get another rotation. So I want to make sure that you recognize, don't delay. When you get notified, and when your family member gets notified that this is the time, if you have not already registered and have not already filled out the form for us, please make sure that you do that now. Because if you don't do it now and we don't reserve your opportunity to be able to get that vaccine when it comes to Tuscan Gardens, we're not sure when the next time is. It could be several months later. And that's just silly. It just doesn't make any sense. And I think, honestly, absent some type of religious objection of some type, I would just really encourage you to take advantage of this, because they're coming to our community, for heaven's sake, and they're coming there for your protection. So that's my fundamental message. Obviously, we don't know when we'll be able to finish up having to wear the masks and the PPE protocols as appropriate. But here's what we do know. Even though we have to do that, that vaccine is going to protect you. And that is just so important to you, and it's so important to loved ones and family members which you've got. So I could beat this thing to death, but you get my drift. And I just want to encourage you to just take advantage of this. Last comment, we're at the end of the unbelievable year that we've had and we've suffered through together. And there is that light at the end of the tunnel. We're going into 2021, hopefully with renewed expectations for the quality of the lives which we all seek. And I just want you to know how much we appreciate, how much Janet and I and your leadership teams at Tuscan Gardens, your leadership teams inside the communities, really appreciate you, really appreciate the patience and the perseverance that you've had and exhibited, and what we've all had to go through together during this year. I want to do, from my standpoint, do everything in my power to assure you that we will continue to be as diligent and as vigilant as we have been throughout 2021, and is focused on the prosperity, the health, and the well-being of your families and your loved ones in the coming year. In the meantime, for the season that we're in, I want to express to you my our heartfelt warm and loving blessings for an incredible Christmas and holiday season. I know it's not going to be the way that we've had them before, but we also know that we're here now and we have the opportunity to live through it. So with all of our best wishes and with all of our love and appreciation for you, we wish you the very best and just loving Christmas season as well as a prosperous 2021. Thank you so much for who you are, for being part of our lives, and I hope to continue to be part of yours. Warm wishes to you all.